Issei has recurring visions of Rainare that cause him to question the girls around him. After another hectic morning with Rias, Akeno and Asia, Issei discovers T. The Hyodo residence has been rebuilt as a 6-story mansion including a training ground, bath and swimming pool. His parents are easily deceived, thinking that the Gremory family works in the construction business. Summer vacation is coming up, and the Occult Research Club members are going on a trip to the underworld. They enter by means of a protected train route, encountering Sona, Genshiro, and Tsubuki also on their way to the underworld. Konko is quiet and subdued during their trip. A surprise attack planned by Azazel helps determine what sort of training each member needs. While at the hot springs, Azazel expands Issei's perverted knowledge of the female body. Elsewhere, a Nekomata named Kuroka intends to meet Konko, her little sister. The Occult Research Club members Havdine are at the Gremory residence with Rias family members. Asia and Zenobia join Issei in bed, claiming that they are uncomfortable with the luxurious setting. The next day, Azazel has them each start on their 20-day training session. Issei trains with Tannen, a reincarnated former Dragon King. After finishing the training, Issei is still unable to activate his balance breaker, so Azazel suggests the need for a catalyst for the activation. In the evening, they go to a gathering of the major families in the underworld. Before the gathering, Issei visits Konko in a surprise to discover her concealed anthropomorphic features. Rias shares Konka's true identity as a Nekomata and past with him. Later, during the party, Issei learns of the identity of a figure he encountered during his training, Sarav Bell. Issei also encounters Revel Phoenix, the little sister of Rias' former fiancé, and Issei's former opponent, Riza Phoenix. She introduces herself as a free bishop piece and invites him to visit her soon. Shortly after, Issei notices Konka's abrupt departure from the party. He follows her with Rias, and it is revealed that Konko, who was taken in by Serex and given to Rias, felt the presence of her sister, Kuroka, who killed her master and disappeared. Kuroka reunites with Konko, addressing her by her birth name, Shiron. During Konka's reunion with Kuroka, Rias recalls a conversation she had before with Konko about not overworking herself. Konko did not believe much in her powers and abilities in comparison to the other members of the club. Meanwhile, back at the party event, Lord Odin arrives and is greeted by Lord Zex. Most of the original party attendees appear happy with the arrivals to the party. Rias and Issei catch up with Konko and Kuroka. They defend Konko from Kuroka, who implores her to join Wali's team. Loki arrives to the party to object to a new pact between Serex and Odin. Loki's objection is that Ragnarok will never be achieved if the pact is completed. He admits to working with the Chaos Brigade before a battle breaks out. In the battle, Akeno's father helps her and threatens Loki, and in the meantime Beelzebub sends Loki away. The previous Dragon King from Issei's training helps with Rias and Issei's fight against Kuroka. Rias explains Konka's painful past while living without any family save for the Gremory clan. Issei also swears to protect Konko as a family member. Unfortunately, Kuroka uses a poison that severely weakens Rias and Konko. Things intensify at the castle as Loki attacks the guests. Issei tries to use his usual methods of fighting, but they have changed since training. He ends up taking a full blast to protect Rias and Konko. Konko encourages Issei and he realizes he has to touch Rias' breasts to upgrade his power. After poking both of her nipples, Issei gains his balance breaker powers, eventually overpowering Kuroka. Konko seems to feel better about her position in the club. Issei and Rias run into each other in the hallway and Issei is amazed at how well Rias takes care of the group. Meanwhile, the Lords realize they have a problem in the form of Loki. The three factions are discussing how to deal with Loki. The members of the Citri family volunteer to follow after Loki as Rias calls on Serex to help. Irina will join Rias, Zenobia, Issei, and Akeno. While gearing up and saying goodbye, the party is joined by Rossweiss, Odin's bodyguard. Issei promises to protect Konko, who is a bit worried about their trip, before both the Gremory clan and Citri family set out to chase down Loki. Issei and Saji discuss their respective club presidents before Loki appears. Loki and Rossweiss get into an argument before Loki summons Fenrir's children and the Midgard serpent. Issei suits up and tries to battle against the two children of Fenrir. Xenovier and Kiba come to his aid. Tsubaki uses Mirror Alice against the serpent, sending its flames back at it. Irina transforms into what looks to be an angel and uses the power of Michael to attack. Loki finds that the group is more formidable than he believed. Konko and Akeno both unleash new powerful forms. Rosweiss tries to reason why. Loki again, but he claims to be fixing Lord Odin's mistake. Saji traps Loki with his upgraded whip, but Loki breaks free and rains hail down on the protagonists. The fighters are forced to use the remainder of their phoenix tears. The hammer of Thor appears as a gift from Odin. Rosweiss tells Issei to use it, but he is wounded by Fenrir right as he tries to use it. The Occult Research Club comes to his aid and try to take down Fenrir and the serpent. Rias, however, invokes her last bits of strength, swearing to exact revenge on Loki. While Rias attempts to stop Loki at the cost of her own life, Kuroka and swordsman Arthur Pendragon capture Fenrir and take him to Vali. Revived by the Phoenix Tears, Issei uses the Mjolnir to capture Loki, but not before Loki curses the houses. Saravd Def eats the Midgard serpent and suggests to Rias that they should have a rating game soon. On the last day of the summer break, the Occult Research Club and Rias family go their separate ways, with Konko having grown significantly closer to Issei, lying on his lap the ride home. At Akeno's request, Rias allows her to go with Issei on a date. The next day, Akeno and Issei go out on their date. Issei discovers that he and Akeno are being pursued by their friends. They flee, however, they encounter Odin, Rosweiss and Barakil, who return with them to Issei's house. Akeno later tells Issei about her past life with her mother, Shuri Himejima, a priestess of the Himejima clan, and how she found Barakil wounded after a fight which led to her marriage with Barakil as well as her death, and why Akeno resents Barakil. While on the run, Akeno was eventually taken in by Rias. She puts his hand on her breast, where Issei unlocks a new ability. Akeno apologizes to Issei for her actions and goes to prepare dinner. As Odin and Barakil are leaving, Akeno offers Barakil a bento box as an act of reconciliation. The second semester starts, as Irina now enrolls herself to the Core Academy, being in the same class as Issei. She then reintroduces herself to the Occult Research Club members as a member of the Brave Saints, and Michael is there to train them. After school, Irina notices a depre SSED Rosweiss at Issei's house after being left behind by Odin. Meanwhile, Issei and Asia is sent shopping to help prepare for a welcoming party for Irina. On their way back, Asia almost trips and is supported by Diodora, who reveals that he is the devil Asia rescued in the past and proceed to propose to Asia. Nighttime in the Hayaudu residence, Issei and Asia report their encounter to Rias until Gaspar arrives and tells them that the preparation for the welcoming party is complete. During the party, Azazel joins in and shows everyone in the party a documentary about Issei's love of breasts. Which triggered Issei's uprising popularity, with the kids earning himself the nicknames Breast Dragon Emperor and Perv Dragon, much to his chagrin and Drake's depression. The next day, Issei's class prepares for the sports day and he is tricked by Kiryu into joining a three-legged race with Asia. At noon, Issei joins his classmate on their preparation for the sports day as Issei starts practicing with Asia. Later, Rias shows the many invitations sent by Diodora for Asia, saying that she will dispose the invitations while Issei and Asia head to train for the sports day. While practicing, Xenovier convinces Asia to let Issei to have a three-way with them, but Irina intervenes. At the club room, Rias reveals the rating game tournament among the young devils, and their first opponent for the tournament is Diodora Astaroth. After watching a recording of the rating game between Saravd and Zephyr, the Occult Research Club are visited by Diodora Astaroth, who offers to trade bishops but is rejected by Rias. Before leaving, Diodora attempts to court Asia again, and is stopped by Issei. He insults Issei by calling him a filthy dragon, causing Asia to slap him. Diodora then announces that he will defeat Issei in the next rating game. On their way back from their client's request, Issei and Konko are confronted by Vali and Kuroka, who tells Issei to be careful of Diodora. Back at the Hayaudu residence, heeding Irina's advice, The girls cosplay for Issei until a fight breaks out between Rias and Akeno. Issei then informs Rias about his encounter with Wally. At his house, Azazel is seen contacting Sir X, discussing Diodora's sudden increase in strength as they prepare for the worst-case scenario. On the day of the rating game, Rias and her servants teleport to the rating game field while Azazel, Rossweiss, and Irina do the same secretly. At the rating game field, Rias notices the irregularity of the match, as a group of devils starts to emerge from magic circles, revealed to be the old Satan faction with Diodora being in cahoots with them. Diodora then proceeds to kidnap Asia and carries her away, leaving the remaining devils to dispose of the Gremory clan. The Gremory group arrives at the temple where Diodora Astaroth is holding Asia Argento hostage. Diodora informs the Gremory group that even though he has halted the rating game itself because of the attack by the Chaos Brigade, he still intends to have the Occult Research Club fight his servants. To protect Asia, the Gremory group agrees to split into two groups to fight Diodora's servants. When Issei's dress break on Diodora's pawns and rooks fail, he uses his bilingual technique on the girls. Using the information Issei provides, Gaspar freezes the pawns, while Konko kills them and Zenobia kills the rooks. Meanwhile, Rias and Akeno battle the queen and two bishops. At Konka's suggestion, Issei offers to go on a date with Akeno next Saturday. Sparken GA series of I Can Do Better Than You. Power increases between Rias and Akeno, who obliterate the enemy forces. The protagonists soon encounter Freed Selzen, who reincarnated as a Chimeria, and UPG Rade, by his new allies in the Chaos Brigade. Selzen reveals that Diodora encountered Asia and fatally injured himself to make the nun heal him. Aware of Rainer's plans to take Asia's twilight healing for herself, Diodora intended to kill her and revive Asia using one of his evil pieces. Back in the present, Kiba finally kills Freed. Diodora reveals that he has already told Asia his history, and intends to sink her further into depression by killing the Occult Research Club in front of her and then raping her. Despite Diodora's boasts that he comes from the same bloodline as one of the current 4 Devil Kings, Ajuka Beelzebub, and has consumed one of Officer Snake's, therefore granting him huge levels of power, Issei uses his balance breaker and defeats him. Diodora reveals that the contraption restraining Asia was a creation of a top-tier Longinus user designed to destroy her in the event of his defeat. Issei, however, uses his dress break technique to destroy Asia's restraints along with her clothes. With Asia safe, she prays that she will be allowed to stay with Issei forever, but disappears. After Asia disappears, Shalba Beelzebub, a devil, tells the Occult Research Club that he has killed Asia by sending her into the dimensional gap. Zenobia attempts to avenge Asia, but Shalba easily defeats her and kills Diodora when he mentions the new and old factions. Enraged by Asia's assumed demise, Issei activates his Juggernaut drive. Meanwhile, Kriosere Asmodeus, another devil, attempts to battle Azazel and his downfall dragon spear, but Sir Zex intervenes and kills Kriosere. Using his Juggernaut drive powers, Issei overpowers and kills Shalba with the Longinus Smasher. Wali's team arrives and brings Asia back from the dimensional gap, much to Zenobia's happiness. Ali and Rias decide to work together to calm Issei's rage. Wally uses his own Juggernaut drive to match Issei and drain away his aura as Rias reaches out to him to calm him down. The Occult Research Club, Wali's team and office, who says that she has removed a curse from Issei, witness the arrival of Great Red before Issei collapses from exhaustion. When Sir Zex informs everyone about Issei's current condition, Asia uses her powers to heal Issei of his wounds before professing her love for him. Sir Zex and Azazel discuss the fall of the Satan faction as well as the Chaos Brigade, as well as Great Red being in the dimensional gap, as well as Officer's plans to kill Great Red in the dimensional gap. Loki curses Office for her intrusion with Issei, although he has intentions for Rias. At the Occult Research Club, Issei encourages Rias to no longer think. During Issei and Rias' conversation, Asia and Issei are seen training for their 3-legged race, repeatedly stepping in rhythm. Issei leaves Asia to get a stopwatch, running into Konko along the way. The two find Gaspar lying on the ground. Konko then discovers something in the other room. The Occult Research Club bursts into Th. A room to find another Issei and Rias holding each other. Issei attempts to save Rias, but she stops him with her magic. Issei, in disbelief, then watches as the other Issei and Rias leave together, destroying the room along with their exit. Issei, Konko, and Gaspar are seen outside, along with the other members of the Occult Research Club as well as Irina and Sona, telling them about what had happened. Azazel and Rosweiss then join the Occult Research Club, explaining that Loki is behind the fake Issei, as he had revealed his plan to Odin, sealing himself up in the process. Issei later realizes that his fear in his heart of what the girl's true feelings has allowed Loki to curse Issei. Loki also uses the same doubt in Rias's heart to curse her. Sazex and Ajuka discover that Rias is in the dimensional gap, and Issei asks Konko if she can contact Kuroka, as he wants to go to see Wally. Despite Rosweiss trying to dissuade him from meeting Wally, Issei says he is willing to risk anything to save Rias. Finally giving in, Sir X decides to leave Rias' rescue to Issei and his friends. Issei and Konko encounter Kuroka, who implores him to hand Konko over to no avail. To reach the dimensional gap, Wally questions Issei on what he will do if he rejects him. In response, Issei summons out his boosted gear, saying that he will use force if needed. Pleased with his answer and determination, Wally gives the order to Arthur, who reveals his family's prized treasure, the Holy King Sword, called Brande, and its ability to control and cut through dimensions. Before leaving, Azazel hands the Downfall Dragon Spear to Asia, saying that it will protect her when needed. With the preparation complete, Arthur cuts through the dimension and brings the protagonists to the dimensional gap. Happy to see Rias again, Asia tries to approach her until Akeno notices Rias trying to attack Asia and rescues her in time. Left with no option, the team decides to suppress Rias first for her safety. In retaliation, Rias releases a powerful surge of power of destruction, deflecting all of their attacks at the same time. Issei begs Rias to stop as Konko notices Rias responding to their voices. He immediately attempt to bring Rias back to her senses and reach her. However, Rias is corrupted by the cursed fragment of the scale mail, and she battles her friends. Akeno begs Issei to rescue Rias by fighting her, as he is the only person capable of doing so. Initially refusing to do so, Issei enters his balance breaker, and proceeds to battle Rias as their clash destroys the field created by her, forcing the others to return to the human world while Rias and Issei continue their battle. As the battle continues, Issei eventually talks Rias out of her mind control, forcing the cursed fragment out of Rias. The cursed Juggernaut Drive fragment takes on Issei's appearance before transforming into the Juggernaut Drive. Back in the human world, the protagonists are sent back to Co Academy W. It Irina and Rosweiss tending to them. After a brief discussion with Azazel on the Juggernaut Drive's fragment being used by Loki, the girl starts to pray for Issei and Rias' safe return. Inside the dimensional gap, Loki's curse, transformed into the Juggernaut Drive, continues its assault on Issei and Rias. Issei, determined to protect Rias, once again dons the scale mail armor and through a modification of the evil pieces previously done by Ajuka, allows Issei to form two cannons on his scale mail as he finally destroys the curse, obliterating the fragment. The victory, however, is short lived as the field created by Arthur gets destroyed due to the impact of the battle, as both Issei and Rias get swallowed by the dimensional gap, ending at some unknown dimension with an unknown creature. They see Great Red and follow him, ending up on a beach where they discuss their relationship before appearing back at the school. Wally reveals to Azazel that he helped Issei in the hopes of watching his encounter with Great Red. The next day, Issei's parents return home and Rosweiss becomes Rias' Rook and moves in with Issei. She also becomes a civics teacher at Issei's school. Issei tells Azazel about his dream of becoming the Harem King.